The USS Ohio is a titan of the deep, one of the largest and most formidable submarines ever built by the United States Navy. Stretching over 560 feet in length, this massive vessel is a true giant beneath the waves, designed to operate in the most challenging environments on Earth. Originally designed to carry nuclear missiles, the USS Ohio was a cornerstone of America's Cold War deterrence strategy. Its primary mission was to remain hidden, ready to launch a devastating counterstrike if ever needed, ensuring peace through the threat of overwhelming force. Powered by a nuclear reactor, the Ohio can stay submerged for months at a time, silently patrolling the world's oceans. Its ability to move unseen beneath the waves makes it one of the stealthiest and most enduring platforms in naval history. But after the Cold War, the USS Ohio and three of its sister submarines underwent a dramatic transformation. No longer limited to nuclear deterrence, they were reimagined for a new era of warfare. The Ohio-class subs swapped their nuclear missiles for up to 154 Tomahawk cruise missiles, precision-guided weapons capable of striking targets hundreds of miles inland. This upgrade turned them into powerful tools for conventional warfare. This conversion made them incredibly versatile, able to unleash massive firepower from hidden locations anywhere in the world. The element of surprise became one of their greatest strengths. The Ohio is also a platform for special operations, capable of carrying and deploying Navy SEALs for covert missions. These elite teams can embark and disembark while the submarine remains hidden beneath the surface. SEALs can deploy while the sub remains submerged, making the Ohio an invisible base for elite forces. This unique capability allows for secret insertions and extractions in hostile or sensitive areas. Beyond its firepower, the Ohio can gather intelligence, support secret operations, and remain undetected for extended periods. Its advanced sensors and communications make it a vital asset for surveillance and reconnaissance. The combination of overwhelming firepower, stealth, and special operations capability makes the USS Ohio a truly unique asset in the U.S. Navy's arsenal. When the USS Ohio appears in a region, it sends a clear message. American power is present, vigilant, and ready to respond to any threat. Its sudden arrival in any strategic area is never casual. It's a calculated move in global strategy, often shifting the balance of power and drawing the attention of both allies and adversaries. For America's allies, the Ohio's presence is a reassurance of support and security. For adversaries, it's a stark warning that the U.S. is watching and prepared to act. The USS Ohio is more than just a submarine. It's a symbol of U.S. military reach, technological prowess, and unwavering resolve on the world stage. In late September 2025, the USS Ohio, a massive Ohio-class nuclear-powered submarine, surfaced in Subic Bay, Philippines. Its arrival was impossible to ignore, sending ripples through the region and beyond. The sight of such a formidable vessel emerging from the depths was both dramatic and symbolic, capturing the attention of military analysts and ordinary citizens alike. Subic Bay, once a major U.S. naval base, is steeped in history and strategic value. For decades it served as a linchpin of American military presence in Asia, a gateway for U.S. power projection in the Pacific. Its deep waters and extensive facilities have long made it a coveted asset for any Navy operating in the region. The submarine's arrival was no routine port call. It was a deliberate show of force, carefully orchestrated to send a message. The ceremony was attended by both American and Filipino military officials, underscoring the importance of the event. The timing was crucial. Tensions in the South China Sea were at a peak, with rival navies shadowing each other and diplomatic relations strained. The Philippines faces ongoing standoffs with China over disputed waters, with confrontations and close encounters becoming almost routine. The stakes are high, as control over these waters means access to vital shipping lanes and natural resources. By sending the Ohio, the U.S. made its support for the Philippines unmistakable. The presence of American and Filipino flags side by side sent a powerful visual message of alliance and cooperation. The submarine's presence in this contested zone was a clear signal of American intent, a reminder that the U.S. stands ready to defend its interests and those of its allies. For many Filipinos, it was a welcome sign of support. For others, a stark reminder of the stakes. Some saw reassurance in the American show of strength, while others worried about being caught in the crossfire of great power rivalry. The Philippine government called it routine, but the symbolism was powerful. Officials downplayed the drama, Yet the underlying message was clear to all observers. The U.S. Pacific Fleet ensured the world saw the event, releasing photos and statements that highlighted the significance of the Ohio's visit. The media coverage was extensive, amplifying the message far beyond the region. The message was global. The U.S. can project power anywhere, anytime. The world was reminded of America's unmatched naval reach and its willingness to act. The Ohio's journey from secrecy to spectacle showcased American reach. What was once hidden beneath the waves was now on full display, a calculated move in the chessboard of international relations. It was a textbook example of speak softly and carry a big stick. The quiet arrival, paired with overwhelming capability, spoke volumes without a single shot fired. The USS Ohio is, without question, a very big stick, armed with enough firepower to alter the balance of power in the region, and a reminder of the stakes involved. Its arrival brought distant geopolitical tensions right to the Philippines' doorstep. The world took notice, and the echoes of this event would be felt far beyond the shores of Subic Bay. The U.S.-Philippines alliance is one of Asia's oldest, stretching back over 70 years and deeply rooted in shared history, values, and security interests. This partnership is anchored by the 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty, a formal agreement that commits both nations to come to each other's aid in case of external attack. For decades, the presence of U.S. military bases in the Philippines symbolized this close relationship, until their closure in the 1990s, which marked a turning point and briefly cooled military ties. However, as new regional threats and challenges have emerged, especially in recent years, the alliance has not only endured but grown stronger, with both countries increasing joint military exercises and defense cooperation. Meanwhile, China's relationship with the Philippines is far more complicated. Economic ties and trade between the two countries have grown rapidly, making China one of the Philippines' largest trading partners. Yet, despite strong economic links, disputes over the South China Sea have led to repeated confrontations and rising tensions, with both sides regularly facing off at sea. China claims nearly the entire South China Sea, including areas that overlap with the Philippines' exclusive economic zone, putting the two countries at odds over territory and resources. These ongoing disputes have pushed Manila to seek even stronger support from the United States, hoping to deter further Chinese assertiveness and protect its maritime interests. For Washington, the Philippines' strategic location is vital, sitting astride key global trade routes and serving as a gateway between the Pacific and the rest of Asia. Supporting Manila is about more than honoring old treaties. It's about upholding a rules-based international order and ensuring freedom of navigation in one of the world's busiest waterways. The U.S.-Philippines-China triangle is a delicate balance of economics, security, and influence, with each country carefully weighing its interests and actions. Every move by one player triggers a reaction from the others, creating a dynamic and often unpredictable regional chessboard. The recent arrival of the USS Ohio, a powerful U.S. Navy submarine, is a major move in this ongoing chess match, signaling Washington's commitment to regional security. Its presence forces all sides to rethink their next steps, as the balance of power in the region continues to shift and evolve. The USS Ohio's deployment was a direct response to escalating incidents in the South China Sea. Confrontations between Chinese and Philippine vessels have grown more dangerous, especially at the Second Thomas Shoal. Filipino Marines, stationed on a grounded ship, face constant harassment from Chinese vessels. China has used water cannons and aggressive maneuvers to block Philippine resupply missions. These actions have damaged ships and injured crews, drawing international condemnation. Each mission turns into a tense standoff, testing the U.S.-Philippines Defense Treaty. The U.S. has warned that an armed attack on Philippine forces would trigger a response. This raises the stakes. Any clash could draw in the U.S. and China. The Ohio's arrival is a calculated show of force, backing up U.S. warnings with real military power. Its presence is a silent deterrent, reminding Beijing of the risks of escalation. The message: the U.S. is watching and ready to act. China's reaction to the USS Ohio's arrival was swift and angry. Beijing sees the deployment as a direct challenge to its ambitions and security in the South China Sea. Chinese officials accused the U.S. of flexing its muscles and stoking confrontation. State media framed it as part of a broader American effort to encircle China. For China, the Ohio's ability to launch 154 Tomahawk missiles from a hidden position is a serious threat. Tracking such a submarine is a nightmare for Chinese military planners. Its presence so close to China's coast forces Beijing to rethink its strategy. The visit is a blow to China's narrative of regional dominance. It signals that the U.S. is not retreating but doubling down in Asia. For China, the Ohio's arrival is a stark reminder. American power is still a formidable obstacle. The USS Ohio's deployment is strategic signaling at its finest. The main audience is China. The message U.S. warnings are backed by real force. For the Philippines, it's reassurance that the alliance is strong and reliable. The visit boosts confidence in Manila, encouraging resistance to Chinese pressure. Other regional players, Vietnam, Malaysia, Japan, Australia, see the U.S. as a committed partner. The move strengthens a coalition of nations wary of China's rise. Domestically, it shows Americans that their leaders are serious about meeting the China challenge. The mission is carefully choreographed, every detail meant to maximize impact. It's a reminder, the U.S. is not withdrawing, but adapting to new realities. The Ohio's presence is both a warning and a promise. In global strategy, actions speak louder than words. The USS Ohio's arrival sent shockwaves across the Indo-Pacific. Countries like Vietnam and Malaysia, with their own disputes with China, quietly welcomed the U.S. show of force. Allies like Japan and Australia see it as a necessary step to maintain stability. They view the mission as part of a broader allied effort to deter aggression. But not everyone is comfortable. Some ASEAN nations fear being caught between giants. They worry that increased U.S. military presence could spark miscalculation or conflict. Many pursue neutrality, wary of a militarized region. The Ohio's visit forces every country to reassess its position. It sharpens the choices: align with the U.S., accommodate China, or try to balance both. The submarine's wake is stirring deep geopolitical currents. The USS Ohio's appearance brings the region to a crossroads. China could respond with its own show of force: more ships, more exercises, more tension. This tit-for-tat escalation risks accidents or miscalculations that could spiral into conflict. Even a minor clash could draw in the US and China, with catastrophic consequences. Alternatively, the Ohio's presence might convince Beijing to pull back, at least temporarily. Deterrence could buy time and reduce immediate risks. Most likely, a tense standoff will persist, neither side backing down but careful to avoid open war. The US will maintain its presence, China will press its claims more cautiously. The future depends on careful management and clear communication. The stakes have never been higher. The USS Ohio in the Philippines is more than a regional story, it's a snapshot of US-China rivalry. The South China Sea's fate will shape the global order, rules and alliances, or power and coercion. The region is a vital artery for global trade. Any conflict would disrupt economies worldwide. Stability here affects everyone, far beyond Asia. The standoff tests American credibility. Will the US stand by its allies? Failure would shake the entire alliance system, making the world less stable. The Ohio's silent presence is a symbol of this global contest. It's a collision of worldviews, law and alliances versus raw power. Decisions made now will echo for years, shaping peace or conflict in the 21st century. The world is watching because what happens here will affect us all.